Welcome back to my channel, and what you can see on the screen is a fully fledged AI powered expense tracker. And yes, the entire front-end UI, the buttons, the inputs, everything was built without a single line of JavaScript, right? And what makes this even crazier is that we defined our backend logic, the graph structures, and also the UI basically in the same language, right? All type safe with Jack's type system. And if you're like me and you love Python, you love building powerful backends and AI models, but the thought of working with JavaScript, with JavaScript's complex frameworks, if it drains you, well, fear not, you are in the right place. So this is something I built, and if you're wondering how the hell I did this without a single line of JavaScript, well, don't worry, I will show you. So let's get into it, and by the end of this video, you will see how we can use this powerful language called Jack to build UIs that automatically update themselves with every single AI interaction. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are in VS Code, and a quick recap on what we did last week. So I introduced you to Jack Client, and we started defining our front end using this CL keyword, which opens up the CL block is what holds everything in the front end, right? And we also laid the foundation. We initialized several fields, the states, dashboard, the query, and all that, and also simple load data function. And yeah, so basically what you're looking at is the backend and the front end all in this app.jack file. We also exported our project into the structure which was generated with the create jack app CLI command, and that's where we are at now. So today we will be defining some functions for our front end to which will essentially hit our backend and connect the backend to the front end. We won't go into styling in depth today. Today will be more about using the spawn keyword to call different walk endpoints and get our application to work with the basic functionality. So a couple of edits we need to make here. So this query response, this is where we are triggering the query walker. So when we ask a question, we are getting an object, right? A semantic object. If you remember correctly, we defined this in our AI utils.js file, which these are the query parameters and this is the query response. And we are getting a different kind of input. So it's not just a response, not just the string. We are getting a lot of other data, summaries, analysis, and all that. So it's not just going to be a string. It will be more like a dictionary kind of object. It will be holding a list of strings. So this we need to change it to, let's just set it to none. And also image path, set image path. Let's change this to, let's say maybe image file, because that sounds a lot more accurate. Yeah, and the use state will be none. And yeah, cool. So before we start defining a function, let me just create a comment over here saying that we'll define our styles later. So let me just somewhere here. So we will need styles for color. Then we'll also have, we can also define styles for maybe the buttons as well as for inputs, and maybe what else, say containers, or let's keep it as like maybe cards. Yeah. All right. So these will be defined. We'll define it in the coming in time. And next, let's go ahead and start doing our front end, the different other functions we have, which we call the backend. All right, so can we start off with? Okay, maybe let's say it's like an async. Yeah, right. So we are loading the dashboard data. So maybe we need another. So if you look at our endpoints, we have get dashboard data as well. So we have add expense.text, we have add expense.image, These are more towards like the AI focus, right? Way beyond our basic focus. So these are the basic focus we need to get dashboard data. Then this one was just adding an expense, like manually adding an expense, just filling the fields by yourself, not using a semantic, like a natural language text or image. So these things need to be done. So we are initializing the graph already. That's what we did last week with this load data. We initialized the graph, and also we are getting the first the data in the dashboard from previous sessions by the user. So let's also have another function where we can, maybe to refresh the dashboard. So these functions will be async to avoid, uh, having the app freeze upon hitting the backend point. So maybe fresh dashboard. Yeah. Okay. And if dashboard results greater than zero, set dashboard. Okay, yeah, that is fine. Yeah. Okay. And oh, sorry, my bad. Yes. Um, then we can have maybe another function for uh, to say handle a query on asking system, right? So handle query, none. Okay, let's see if query.trim return. Okay, so for here we can say we are going to hit the query expenses walker. Uh, and we're giving passing the query and the conversation context. I remember this, so this is how we defined this walker. We are passing two parameters, and if the report send is greater than zero, we can set the query response with the query result. Okay, let's see if it's greater than zero, maybe. Okay, so this, I think, query result will be basically taking the response from this um, query response. This is what we're getting out from the output. This AI response, we're passing it here as the response. So this should be, I believe, dot response. Okay, yeah, response. Okay. Else set query response as none. Yeah, that looks good. That should be fine. And yeah, okay. Uh, what else? So what about adding an expense? So if we want to add an expense manually, let's say add manual expense. Yeah. So if the amount is less than zero, category.trim. Okay. So let's first validate whether it's a valid expense to add, and then maybe we can go with this add expense. So this is the basic walker which we defined. We'll be calling this. So this spawn keyword actually, what it does is it bypasses it removes the need to kind of switch context between backend and front end code, and it does the communication part between the front end and backend seamlessly. That is the magic of this font keyword. And so we're calling this add explain, this basic one, and we are passing these parameters. So let's verify if that is correct. So we have get add expense here. Here we are. So we have amount, we have the date, category name, the currency, and the merchant. So altogether we have like 5 parameters here. Let's make sure that we are asking the user to enter these correctly. So we have amount, date, category name, the merchant. I think we need to also add the currency. Yeah, currency USD. Can keep that. Let's keep that as default maybe. And yeah, okay. Then we can so once we pass these parameters, we also want to refresh the dashboard. So what can we do is after we enter the data, we should be able to clear it also, right? So if they want to add another receipt, another expense, details related to a different expense, they should have a clean form. Otherwise, they have to, if you're talking about UX they'll have to backspace the expense and then again enter it. So let's also, upon taking up this data and calling this endpoint, and once it's been recorded in the system, let's clear out the form. So I'm going to, let's just put a comment here, clear form and refresh dashboard. So let's put set amount, yeah, 0, then set date, set category, set merchant. No, set that's all, yeah. And oh, I think we need to also set, I think we set current form here. Yeah, let's set the current form. Set current form, yeah, set current form. So we are initializing this state as well. Okay. Um, next. Next we can maybe define add expense from image. Before going to image, maybe let's try add expense from text first. Oops. Add expense from text. Okay, let's accept the auto completion. So if description, this text description dot trims, yes, okay. Await root spawn add expense from text, that's the correct endpoint, and we are giving a description, right? This is the only parameter we are passing to this walker. So that's fine. And in terms of the states we are managing, we have this text description as well as this current form. So those two will be the ones that we would be considering. So yeah, okay. This looks good. So once we have defined it, calls the walker, updates the system, and then we are clearing the form and we are refreshing the dashboard. So that's good to go. And let's quickly go ahead and now define the one for image. Yes. Okay, so it's not an image file. So we are verifying whether the file we are uploading to the system is an image file indeed. So once we have done the verification, we can call this endpoint using the spawn keyword. I think this should be, I think it should be add expense from image file. Um, let's see. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, it should be add expense from image, but we are calling the AI, the utility function which we are calling would be the from file and extract expense from image file. So this is correct, yes. So we'll be using this, and then we are passing the path as the parameter. Okay. So image path, image file dot path. Okay. So we're using an image object. Let's keep it like this. Okay. Next, let's define our dashboard. So we need to render our dashboards. This wouldn't be an async function. We'll be just going with a normal function. So render dashboard. Let's see what happens. Okay. We are not going to go with the styling just yet. We'll do that maybe in the next video. Today, it's more about setting the logic up front. So if not dashboard, data, return dashboard. Okay. I'm going to edit this bit. Let's take out this div out. Let's just take styling one. Okay. So this, let me just add a comment here. Need to, let's say, need to add some styling. Okay. Right. So first of all, we are verifying whether we're actually getting the dashboard data. And after that, we can, so what would we like to show in our dashboard? We would like to show the overall expenses we've tracked, throughout the history of our smart expense tracker. Then maybe the expenses from the last month, maybe the expenses, the biggest expense. Likewise, we can show certain metrics on our dashboard. So let's get started with that. So let's first of all have something to show, the all-time total, right? So total all-time That would be, we can have like a string maybe. String to dashboard data dot total expenses USD. Yeah, dashboard data dot total expenses of USD, and also there may be the biggest category. Now before we go into that, let's say to track the monthly expenses, so total this month here, can have a dashboard. No, let's keep this as 0.0, and if total current, so we are going to first check, yeah, if it's there dashboard data, if we have that data, we can extract it. So yeah, cool, that's good. Next, we can also have, so let's show the month. No, wait, that's the biggest category. Before that, let's also show the month, as we don't know exactly what month is being shown. So default will be like, say, unknown, and then if month in dashboard data month, yeah, equals dashboard data dot month. Cool. And then we can show the biggest category as well. So here also let's have like a default biggest category. Say, yeah, NA. I guess yeah, NA is fine. And if biggest category in dashboard data, um, then we can show that as well. Yeah, else NA. Cool. This if else statement again. So we have the total this month, we have the month, and we are also showing the biggest category. Apart from the biggest category, we also need to show the biggest amount. So yeah, biggest amount 0, if biggest amount in dashboard data. Yes, that looks good. And then we need to close the braces as well. And then we can also yeah, return a div. So let's just have a dummy one for now. So you'll be working on this next week. Let me just comment here. Add some style here. Next, I think we finished most of the functions. So we have render dashboard. We need to also have for the form, to render the form, keep track of what, especially in terms of like when you're adding manually the expenses, and also we'll be able to add expenses with a text description and also be able to upload an image. So let's just kind of lay the foundation for this. Like, basic structure. No need to go into the styling just yet. So yeah, its current form is manual. So this is where we are calling the add expense work endpoint. We'll be returning a div, and um, maybe let's see. Let's just keep a very simple one here. So maybe yeah, okay, H3 add expenses. No, let's keep it as manual expense entry. Okay. Then we have the input. We have type is a number. Value would be amount, and on change. Okay, then this needs to change according to Jack syntax. It should be lambda here. Lambda e any and none. So this is the syntax we need to follow. So it's slightly different when we're using doing this in a Jack syntax. So set amount pass float. Okay, do this pass float. Yeah. Right? And oh, I think we need to have a semicolon over here. Yes. And placeholder, what else? Let's also have like step, to increase it. So with sets maybe? Yes, instead adding yeah, currencies, okay. Then we need to, so we're adding the amount. We also need to track the date. Let's see, type text. Okay, let's go with the category then. Okay, let's enter the category first and set category. Yep, placeholder category. Okay, merchant. Also, we can track. Yeah. Okay, it's kind of auto-completing for us. I don't really have to do any codes. This is will be a date. Yes, let's add the date as well. Placeholder date. Okay. So we are getting the amount. We have put category merchant date USD. It's already there. Like by default, it'll be USD. Um, let's just leave that out for now. Maybe later on we can add that as a separate import field. Then we can have okay, this. Let's give it like this. So button, and the type. The button on click would be add manual expense. So we are calling that async function which we defined. And yes, all right, and then add expense, but let's keep it as add expense, or add expense manually would be more. It would be more. The user will be able to understand it better because there are 3 ways to add an expense. So add expense manually should be sufficient. And also, so that is one button, the button to add the manual expense. Maybe another button to like cancel it. So let's have a cancel button as well. So type button, yeah, it's setting the form, correct. Okay, so we have add expense button and also cancel button. That should be enough for the manual one. And next, yeah, current form text. So else should be, yeah, elif. And if you're adding a expense by text, or maybe we can go, yeah, add expense on text description. We have a text area, and we have a button to add expense on text, and also cancel button. Yeah, that looks good. We can leave it like that. Also, we have the image, so let's go ahead and start on that. Okay, add expense from receipt image. Cool. The input will be type file. We can accept an image. Yeah. So we're calling that function and add expense from image, and also the cancel button. Cool. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we don't really have to do the coding. It's automatically completing for us. It looks good. So let's test it. When we are testing, if we come across any issues, we can always do some debugging and fix it. Yeah. And then they also return else actually. Let's return like some kind of string or something. Say select a form to. So let's say select an option to add an expense. Yeah. Okay. That looks good. All right. And so this is the end of the render forms function. So yeah, then after that we'll be having like we need to kind of basically add the UI here. So yeah, that is our front end. So we have done. So we have like kind of set the skeleton, like the back end and the front end. So I hope you have a great understanding about what we did in this video. We basically set we connected our backend to our front end. We have a lot more to do in terms of UI, in terms of styling, to come to the level of the smart expense tracker, which I showed you in the beginning of this video. So stay tuned. I hope you are enjoying this series. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you really enjoy these videos, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, hit those notifications, and leave a comment. Let me know if you need any sort of doubts to be clarified, if you're finding problems, or in general, if you enjoy my videos, if you have any feedback on how I can improve the quality of my videos, please go ahead and leave a comment below. So goodbye for now. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.